Screen frame. I don't know what that means. Flashing lights, default, sure. Motion blur, sure. Can I bring it down? I have no idea if ultra quality is gonna be good. All right, this game is called Adrift. I think it's sort of like a drifting racing game where you're kind of going through these surreal sunset environments. And that's basically all I know about it. It looked neat. Oh, text. Across the Elbe Vitus laid a city beaming with the light of towering hologram projections. They were the last humans, the final step, as they had invented happiness. Once the valley's resources depleted, they resorted to the import of energy cores. But dwellers had grown contempt, and when they saw transport too dangerous... Oh god, that's fading out. There's a handful living in solitude outside, skilled in navigating its chaos and unknowns. Although they were able to transport a core through the scorching land without it overheating, these outsiders, simply known as drifters, were the one cog keeping this machine running. Find the city, the heart of these lands, and deliver the energy core. Cool. I've got a hunch that ultra settings is not going to be sufficient. There's going to be too much. But maybe the Steam Deck has got a lot of beef to it. I'm not sure if I should be doing something. Oh, that frame rate makes me believe. That ultra quality is probably not the way to go. Hold on, can I just do it from general? All right, still a black screen. Let's try starting again. This time with lower settings, maybe a higher frame rate. Yeah. So it's possible that at such a low frame rate, the game did not want to work. All right, hold on. What did these do? I do not know. Okay, that's the sort of text. All right, let's drive then. Traverse through the forest clearing and find the tunnel passage to the beach. All right, maybe the Steam Deck is probably a little too weak for this game. It's dipping a couple frames, and you can kind of see some. I don't know if it's TAA or TSR or FSR, or some sort of. There's some sort of temporal, low resolution sort of artifacts showing up. But this car is fun to drive. So I hope the Steam Deck can kind of keep it together enough to be able to kind of keep playing. At least I don't know how long this demo is. I mean, I hope you folks are okay with a bit of a choppier frame rate. forest. The trees shade as a sheet of snow cloaks that lost place, a forgotten land that knows no cold. This game is very poetic, it seems. It reminded me a lot of, God, I'm not going to correctly remember the name of this game. I think it was called like Exo 1. Whoa. Okay, some sort of boarding structure. Exo 1 was also sort of like driving in a picturesque planet. Okay, so I've got to make it to the port. I guess it's just sort of a game about driving well. But Exo 1 kind of had a similar surreal vibe in some ways. Different game, but it reminded me of it. I'm assuming I'm supposed to just kind of be following these trails rather than trying to like sequence break or something. It's a good song though. I'm digging the music. And this car controls really well, actually. I've actually been, at least with the controller, it's been really great. The drifting makes a lot of sense with how you can kind of use the trigger to kind of get yourself into a drift. Oh boy. Imagine before technology opened our eyes, this port was... I'm not paying attention to everything. Thankfully, we have since realized the materialistic era's demise. Whoa, 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 whoa. Neat. What a perfectly truck-sized boat. I really like the noise in the atmosphere. I think that's very pretty. In front of like the sun. Interact with. Oh, that's cool. So there's a cooling station for your energy core, and then you're supposed to sort of explore to figure out the best way, the fastest way to bring your energy core to the destination. So I guess you've got to first find the destination. And then figure out how best to bring your core there. It's a nice premise. Okay. So if I am at the satellite at the bottom, I'm assuming my energy core is sort of that bottom left item, and I would also assume that to the right would be another cooling tower. So I think... well, let me do that one more time. Oh, I can't. Do I have do I have any way to look at that again? I don't know what these mean. These all seem to be doing the same thing. Okay, so I guess I don't have access to that map again. Oh, but I can just immediately go back. I've now picked up my ball, my energy core, and I believe the goal will just be to bring it straight to the right, because that's where I saw the next cooling tower. All right. I would assume that this is hinting at me to go north. But let's explore again. I think it was saying that there's sort of like a bridge if I cut north immediately, but I've got a hunch that the bridge won't be available until I go to the left some. But maybe it's just saying that there's sort of this cut through that I just took. Wonder if there are any like kind of hard locks to stop me from going too far without my core. Because it sure feels like I can just kind of go wherever I want. Okay, so it looks like there's more coolant stations. Excuse me. And the way that I took is pretty safe. So somehow I can go back to my orb, get it, and let's do the same thing, but push on further north to one of those coolant stations. I like this idea. I'm curious about how much fun it will be to retread every trail twice, you know, once exploratory and the other time trial. I think it's an interesting idea. I just have no idea how it would play out over the course of a game, you know? I guess the challenge, like, it's an interesting challenge, right? You're trying to remember the trail that you took. Even though it was only a couple minutes ago. Okay, so that's the tower, and I believe if I just kind of hook up straight ahead, I'll be able to find my next cooling station. I really am charmed by this game's kind of poetic text that it's using. There's something to that, and it is working with sort of the whole vibe of this game. It's really interesting. All right, boom. This is very pretty. I am constrained for time, so I might have to end this a bit earlier than the demo would want. But let's give it a little bit more time. Your car definitely goes faster on the sand rather than kind of in the bush. All right, what do we have here? Checkpoint. Okay. So definitely got to take that there. Reactivating the nearby cooling station will enable them permanently. Trying to figure out what that means. Like, is there backtracking in this game? To the extent where like I would need to go all the way back. All right. This doesn't seem necessary, so let's grab that. Let's retread our steps. I think that was actually like right where I was before I respawned. I think I like just looped back around to it. The premise is growing on me a lot, actually. I really like the idea. Like it's a very unique concept. I don't, maybe not unique, but like it sort of fits, everything fits together really nicely, like the poetic text, the sort of contemplative atmosphere and ambiance, and then this kind of exploration versus kind of blitzing through as like a desire, like as the two different gameplay modes. Oh, perfect. So that was the demo. I'm just curious about what, I'm guessing I can't, you're like not allowed. Maybe I could keep going. It's interesting that there's the two checkpoints kind of breaking off from this. That almost does sort of answer my question of like, will you be backtracking through the same zones again? Seems like you might. But this is neat. I do really love the vibe that's been put together here. And the premise of sort of carrying this thing that can only be, that's got a time limit when you've got it on you, and so you kind of leave it at safe points to bring it to explore sort of and trek out the best course. I'm super curious about how that simple premise is sort of built on with the rest of the game. I think that my worry would be whether or not that gets tiring after a while, if there isn't sort of new things introduced to it, and how often the backtracking, like having to do everything twice, goes. But at the very least, as a demo, it was very interesting and intrigued me a lot. So that was cool.